Hi all, and welcome to the third and last part of our Unreal Master Material tutorial series. In this part, we'll be going over creating a micro tiling variation function that will help us in reducing tiling and adding quick and easy variation to our materials. Let's get started and jump back into it. As we can see, we have everything set up in the same way as we have from our last tutorial video. But we'll be just adding one extra function at the top and blending with our base color, and we can also blend it with our roughness. There are several videos on YouTube how to do this already, but I thought I'll add it into here to make sure you guys get the best out of the master material we'll be creating. To start off, we need to create a texture coordinate tool. Just as previously we have done with our UV, we will be creating a multiply by clicking M on our keyboard and clicking with a left mouse button anywhere in the material editor. Or you can type in multiply and it will give you the exact same result. Plug this into your A slot of the multiply function. Click 1 on your keyboard and left click to create a constant, convert to parameter, and call it macro tiling UV1. Set this to 0.2. Bring in a texture sample, convert to parameter, call this macro tiling texture 1. And from here, we'll be looking for just the standard macro variation texture from Unreal Engine itself. Let's plug in the texture coordinate into here. Now we need to create an add node, like so. And what we'll do here is we'll copy and paste this twice. What we now need to do is just change around the names. To make sure it's all matching and that it's very clear and concise. Last thing we need to do after copying everything we have here is just change around the numbers. So this is up to your discretion, but these are the numbers I found to work correctly. Fantastic. And we will just put them into a group called macro tiling. There we go, macro tiling, macro tiling. Right, after we set up our groups, it's time to hook up everything together. So what we will do here is we need to take a multiply node, bring in the first macro tiling here, make another multiply node, multiply these together, bring here. And the final thing, you just need to change the amount we're adding to 0.5 in all of our add nodes. Like so. It looks very complicated, but all it's doing here is just multiplying and adding different variations of the same texture on top of each other, just to remove as much as tiling as it's physically possible. Last thing we need to do is we want to have the ability to color our micro variation. So we'll press 3 on our keyboard to create a free vector, convert to parameter, call it macro tiling color, put it into our group, and we're going to create a linear interpolate. So we want to use this as a mask to put color over our existing texture. Okay, the last thing is we want to add a switch to our material to have the option to turn this on and off on specific materials, as you probably don't want it everywhere in your everywhere in your materials. What we will do here is firstly we need to multiply the results of a base color and a micro tiling. Now we want to do a static switch parameter. Ask ourselves use micro tiling, and from here we want to plug the result of the multiplication of our micro tiling and our base color into true, and just the straight result of our base color into the false, and plug this into here. We're going to set the group, make sure everything's nice and neat. And from here, I want to just put this into a comment. And voila, I want to save this and let's test it out. So let's get into our material and turn on micro tiling. As you can see, we're getting instant results. Let's make it clear. And from here, you can see that this is not dependent on anything else that is going on in your standard material. And from here, we have full control over how much tiling we want to add and how strong we want it to be. So as you can see, we're repeating this material quite heavily, but the tiling is no longer a problem because we have an offset that is sort of the really hard tiling by using a macro variation. One more thing I'd like to add is including the macro tiling in our roughness information. It's super simple to add, but I think it adds a lot of nice variation to your material without really doing any extra work. So what we need to do is around our roughness node, make an add node, bring in our roughness information into the B slot, then take a final multiply node from a micro tiling variation into the add node. From here, we need to create a linear interpolate. There we go. Add it into our B slot. There we go. Create a constant. Convert to parameter. Macro tiling roughness int, just for shortening this name. Plug in our static switch parameter from roughness into the B slot, and plug in our constant into the alpha slot of our linear interpolate. And this macro tiling roughness int, set the default to 0.2. And we want to add another static switch parameter. Use macro tiling roughness. Plug this into our true, and this switch into our false, and plug this into our roughness. Create a comment. Macro tiling roughness. There we go. And if we go back into our material, you can see that it's not having any sort of effect on roughness at the moment, but if we switch it on, we can see that we are getting some results from this. And we can play around with the roughness value to whatever we like. It's usually pretty subtle, but I feel that this adds quite a nice sort of effect. Thank you guys for watching this 3-part tutorial series on creating an Unreal Engine master material. If you have any questions or suggestions of what I could prepare for the next video, please let me know in the comments, and I would like to gladly hear what you have in mind. I hope you have enjoyed, and take care and have a good day.